Hi, and welcome to this installment of Tom's Take. Thanks to Kathleen Wayland of Wayland Financial in LaSalle for sponsoring this weekly video project. And this week I'm taking a look at a gem that's hidden right in plain sight, one of the three facilities that make up the Mendota Museum and Historical Society. The Hume Carnegie Museum is in a beautiful historic building that used to house the Mendota Library. It's on the park at 901 West Washington Street. And in this place, you're going to find a lot of exhibits and information on the daily life of Mendota as it used to be. From a room dedicated to Wild Bill Hickok and military veterans to a space that recreates a small doctor's office from long ago. You can take a look at a remarkable cross-section of Mendota history in that beautiful building. Two other facilities make up the other parts of the Historical Society, and they're all within walking distance of the downtown, the Union Depot Railroad Museum and the Breaking the Prairie Museum. I'll take a look at them down the road. For now, newly installed Executive Director Alex Revzon took me for a walk through the Hume Carnegie during the museum's recent Christmas party. Here's a look.
You know, it's a very interesting place. Of course, I actually knew the place before I started here as director. I was an intern here while I was in grad school at Northern Illinois. And then, you know, a couple months ago in October, I think it was, I saw they were looking for a director, so I figured I'd throw my hat in the ring, and here I am. You know, it's a great space. It's just as we kind of can pan around here with the cupola, you know, original mural. So it's a great kind of repurposing of a really wonderful historic building here. You know, making sure places like this don't fall to, you know, redevelopment or urban renewal, which happens all too often. I worked on a project before I came here that was focused on the work of Louis Sullivan and Richard Nickel. Of course, Richard Nickel, the great preservationist who died trying to salvage ornament from a Louis Sullivan building, the stock exchange in the city. So yeah, I mean, and before he and some other like-minded people got the movement going in the early 60s and the 60s and early 70s, you know, progress was the name of the game, and people just didn't see the value in some of these historic spaces. But now I think people are much more cognizant of what they mean to a town and to a city, and, you know, see the value in preserving them. I mean, whether you know, come in by road or take the Amtrak in, yeah, it's a very easy walk to all three places. You get to see the downtown as you go. So yeah, it's a really great opportunity. So this gallery, we have probably the best known historical figure from the area, Wild Bill Hickok, not from Mendota, from Troy Grove, or as it was back then, Homer. You know, from his early years through you know, when he was killed in Deadwood in 1876. So actually his centennial is going to be coming up in just a few years, which is going to coincide with the 250th birthday of America in 2026. So I expect that we are going to be doing quite a lot around both of those. This is sort of our military history area, and we have objects that go from the American Civil War up through the Spanish-American War, World Wars I and II. This is our Civil War case, and yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
These are amazing.
Model 1860 cavalry saber back in the back there, which is really cool. This is a book that gives a history of local veterans here, and we have also a couple of really special things. Medals of Honor, one in the American Civil War by a couple of local people who enlisted. So you can probably see we have the place pretty decked out for the season here, and this is a room we have set up as kind of a Victorian parlor with all the kinds of things you would find, you know, in a home before wireless, much before television. You had to make your own fun. So, and we have stereoscopes. We have this piano here, and which Mary is going to be playing later. This is actually owned by a Hickok relative.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so it's of the period, and just had it tuned a few days ago.
So it's all set for the party.
Should be sounding good. Yes. And we have even some of the old wax cylinders for for the Victrolas.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, before they had the platters.
Now, full disclosure, I'm on the board of directors of the Society, and that's one reason that I'm so excited to share with you what you can find at 901 West Washington in Mendota. If you're listening to this on the radio or online, you're going to want to see the video version of this story. Just visit YouTube and go to the Starved Rock Media page. And here's more.
Yeah, we have a lot of really interesting stuff here. Old equipment from some of the medical practices and the old hospital from here in town.
So what you've essentially done is you've taken a lot of what Mendota was and set it apart by subject, by interest.
You know, it's not like a more modern museum with this kind of sterile white walled galleries that, you know, everybody always seems to complain about. But you have these spaces that are kind of separated out, so it makes sense to kind of use them for different aspects of the history.
I've always loved this too because the churches. Tell me about this room.
Well, this room, we have churches, we have cemeteries and funeral parlors. So we have a lot of the old tools that were used in the constructions of these buildings here as well. So if you're a woodworker, if you do that, you know, coming to see this, I know people are very interested in kind of the way these things were done before all the modern equipment here. We have a small case on scouting here over here. We have a lot of the school memorabilia here, the different high schools, even colleges that used to be here in Mendota. We have a large case of Helen Hawkinson, who was a cartoonist for the New Yorker. She's local. She, of course, was an artist. Yes, indeed. We had an NFL Hall of Famer here who played for the Vikings after his early years.
Bill Brown?
Yep, yes, indeed. So.
And even more.
And if people have questions about ancestors or relatives, they can always submit questions to us, and we will research it to the best we can with our collections here. We use this for meetings. We use this for programs. So if we have a lecture, if we have book club, children's programs, we can do that here. This room is basically dedicated to a lot of the businesses locally here, many of which are no longer here. It's a very extensive collection.
More organs.
More organs. It was a big thing here. That's one of the things we're looking to do in the new years.
Partnering with some of the schools.
Yeah, sort of reintroduce ourselves to schools, make sure that local kids get to come through here and see what we have going on here.
But there's nothing stopping teachers or administrators from trying to contact you.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Contacting you and just come through.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great to do.
We're here
on a weekend or weekday afternoon. Come through.
Absolutely. I know Illinois history is a part of sort of the requirements. So, and railroads are, of course, incredibly important to the history of the state. So, yeah, I mean, come over and see us. We're open for business. We'd love to have everyone in.
Thanks to Alex for the walkthrough during the Christmas party and all. And if you'd like to learn more about these remarkable spaces right under our noses, visit MendotaMuseums.org. Thanks again to my sponsor, Kathleen Wayland of Wayland Financial in LaSalle. And Happy New Year to you. I'll talk to you in the morning.